All right, good afternoon, you guys. This is speaker and coach Honey Shantay Adams. This is Financial Fitness Fridays, and I am excited to be here. So, I gather people come from the north, the south, and the east and the west. Let's get on here today. We're going to talk about the LIRP. So, some of you all are probably like, "What is the LIRP?" Well, the LIRP is a product, or so to speak, not a product, but a strategy the rich people use, to be quite honest with you. But it's something that's coming to mainstream, and it's coming to you all. So some people ask me about the LIRP and what is it all about, and so I am going to talk about it today. I don't talk about it as much. I kind of talk about it in parts here and there, but today I'm going to talk about it, so I'm excited. So bring your notepad. So those of you who are note takers, I thank you for being here. There's going to be a lot of information, a lot of value, so take notes, put in the comments, ask me questions, all that good stuff. It's going to be for those of you who want to have fun and learn some exciting, cool things. We're going to have fun. We're going to learn. We're going to come with some numbers, some statistics. We're going to talk about all those things to give you something to think about, chew on, reflect about, ponder about, and maybe even potentially even sit down with me, ask me even further questions. So with that being said, I'm going to get started. I'm sorry, I'm nursing a bit of the sniffles. I have been traveling and the weather changed. I'm back home, but I was in California and it was raining, and so I got some tea. This is a cup that was gifted to me for being a virtual honeybee lady. The honeybee, you see the honeybee on here, and so I am sipping on some tea as I'm bringing you all some tea today on this Financial Fitness Fridays Talk Plus. All right, so let's get into this really quickly. So for those of you who are coming on, those who watch the replay, God bless you all. Let me sip on this tea because I need some tea. So, anywho, let me jump right into this. Being dedicated, y'all. I tell you, this yesterday was something else. When I got back, I was sneezing like crazy. Today, I'm a little bit better. My voice is a little raspy, but I'm fine. But I want to talk about the LIRP. I'm gonna talk about the LIRP. And the LIRP, many people actually, it's not really widely known or widely understood, which is why I want to kind of talk to you all about some things on a very high level. So I'm not going to get into specific details, but on a very high level, we're going to talk today. So it's been around since 1986. Some of y'all may not even know this, but it's been around since 1986. And it's only 0.06% of people really know about it or fully understand it. So basically that comes down to like 1 in every 1,500 Americans. And I'm only giving you stats. Those stats were only for the United States of America. So from this country that we're in, for those who live outside this country, but for this country by itself, it's only the statistic shows only 1 in 1,500 people know about it. That's not a lot of people if you think about it in the grand scheme of things. And so, like I said, 0.06% of people are familiar with it, and it's been around since 1986. And some of us are just getting wind to it a year ago, 2 years ago. Max, I think most people I'm coming across have barely heard about it, and if they did, it's been only within the last year or two. So it's very recent for a lot of people. And the reason being is because it's mainly known, or people who know about it are high earners. And the reason why is because they get all the tax breaks because it comes with it. So let's talk about some of these things. Let's talk about how you can save money on your taxes and not pay to Uncle Sam. We know this is tax season, right? So let's jump right into the tax portion of it, because I think that right there is big time, okay? You don't have to pay the IRS the taxes on the gain. Now, who doesn't want to have tax-free money? I know I do. This is tax time. Listen, anytime I can save on money and not get IRS on money, okay, that's a win, 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 win. That's a win for you right there, okay? So you get to save money. All your gains are your money. That's called tax exempt, okay? So this LIRP has that benefit. And like I said, a lot of people don't understand the complexity of it, because the LIRP is becoming the new form of a 401k for retirement because of the accessibility. Let me ask you all this question. If you had the perfect account, let me rephrase it this way. For those of you who hop on, if you could have the perfect investment account, the perfect account out there that has all the bells and whistles, what would be some of those bells and whistles? Would you rather have an account that you can access or you can't access it? And if you do access it, would you want to be slapped on the wrist for accessing it, or you want to be able to access it for free? Let me know, because that's the account for you. If it is, put in the comments, say, hey, I would like an account like that, hey, if I put my money up in it, I can access it when I want to. Or I can, or I want to slap on the wrist and say, hey, and that slap on the wrist is a tax. You got to pay taxes, income taxes, and penalty. I'm just saying. No, who said my favorite account is an account that I don't have to worry about my money being gone? Okay, let's get there now. Let's talk now. We're going to get some deep talk today. So who wants an account that they can lose money in it? Anybody? Any takers? I didn't think so. If you had a perfect account, you would say, hey, I don't want to lose no money in my account now, Shantay. I don't want to lose no money. Exactly. So you want to count that I should take some notes of these and just jot them down. You say, okay, I don't want to count that I don't lose money. Don't lose money. Let's write that down. Don't lose money. Listen, y'all, do what I'm doing. You don't want to count that you have to get a slap on the wrist with taxes and the penalties. You want to count that you can freely access. So freely access. You say, hey, Shantay, I want an account that not only that I freely access, I don't lose money, but Shantay, it can grow with the stock market. Like it grows with nice interest rate. It's compounding and multiplying. Okay, you want to count that they increase with interest. So interest rate is high. Okay, what else? What else another count? What else? If you had a perfect world, you say, hey, I want money that I can access. I don't want to lose no money, Shantay. I want high interest rate, Shantay. What else? I have to pay Uncle Sam money. Okay, you want tax free. Okay, so what's that called? Tax free growth. Okay, you want an account that has tax free growth. All right, tax free growth. What else is out there? What else people want? They want tax free growth. They want interest rate. What else? They want to have control. Okay, so they want accessibility. So free access, we got that, free access. They want to grow. What else they want? They want to be protected. Okay, they want protection, right? So you want to protect your money. That means you don't want to lose it. You want to protect it. How is you protected? Not only losing it, but you want to make sure it's protected, like it's in a bubble, it's secure. Okay, you want secure. What else if you had a perfect account? Oh, generational, it grows. Okay, generational. It grows generational. So you want something that's generational wealth, legacy, right? You want to make sure you have legacy. What else? You got tax-free. Somebody say, okay, Shantay, you got tax-free. I'm not losing the money. It's protected. I'm getting interest rate. I have access. It's protected money, tax-free growth. What else is out there that you would say, some people say, this sounds too good to be true, Shantay. Ain't no count out there that I'm not going to lose money. Say, what if you can lose money, not pay taxes, get a good rate of return? Would you be interested in that? That's my question to you all. And I say that question one more again. If you can get an account where you don't lose your money, it grows tax-free, and it get rate of return, would that be something of interest to you? Many people probably say, heck yeah, Shantay, I would want something like that. Then my question is, why don't many people have that? That's my follow-up question. Why don't many people have an account like that? It has all those benefits. You ain't got to pay Uncle Sam. It grows protected. And guess what? And it's flexible. Some people say, well, I want something it's flexible too. And it's flexible. So it's flexible. So you can access it. It's flexible. You can pay this time. You can pay this time. You can invest this time. You can invest this time. You can save this time. You can save this time. So it's totally flexible. So a lot of folks don't know about this. It's been around since 1986. It's 2026. It's been around for 40 years on the nose. 46 years. 40 years. I'm sorry, I said 40 years. 40 years. It's been around for 40 years. Exactly on the nose, 40 years. And some of us never knew about this. Now, if I ask you all about a 401k, many people can tell you about a 401k because it's widely known. A 401k or a traditional IRA, pensions. Oh, we know about those. We probably can tell you some of the ins and outs. Some of y'all may have not heard of a TSP or 453 or 403B, 457 or 403B. Some of you probably never heard of these ones or a SEP IRA. We may not have heard of these things, but those are what we call variable. And then we have some of those things that are actually indexed. Did some of you all know? Let me tell you this without going into too much detail, just not too much, but did you know that most banks invest your money, our money in indexing strategy? Did you know, one more again, did you know that the Fortune 500 companies, the top ones like Tesla, Amazon, to name a few, a couple of, I should say, they invest their money in an indexing strategy because they can't lose money. It's protected. It has a floor. Somebody said, what is a floor, Shantay? That's why you gotta sit down with me. You gotta sit down with somebody who gonna tell you some things and educate you. Sidebar. So a lot of times these talks are inspired by conversations I have throughout the week. Sometimes I'm led to have one and I knew exactly what I'm going to talk about. And then sometimes it'll just come to me and I'm like, more people need to know about this. And so today was that latter part where that it was from a conversation that I had with someone, and that inspired me to talk about this today. So the LIRP is actually a very, very good vehicle to save and invest in there because of all the benefits you are able to access and have. And so I was speaking with someone yesterday. Last night, as a matter of fact, I had a late night appointment. I told you I was not feeling my best, and I was not. But she gave me so much grace and mercy, despite all my sniffling and sneezing. I mean, today I'm better in terms of the sniffles. It's not as bad. Yesterday was like pronounced. It was just like I couldn't help myself. I was sneezing back to back on that call. But nonetheless, we got through it, and she was beyond grateful. That call, actually, we did a lot of deep information. So you guys are getting just a little bit of it. But her and I spoke yesterday, and she was like, whoa, Shannon, this is a wealth of information. This is a lot of information. And I said, girl, there's more. There's more, Miss Lady. There's more. But however, this is enough for you to chew on. We had a great conversation. We talked about different examples and just a lot of numbers. And she able to handle those numbers. And she asked me a lot of great questions. She's a bit of an older person. And she was like, I didn't even know about this. Like, she was in her 50s. She's in her upper 50s, as a matter of fact. And she never even heard of this. And she just started getting wind of it recently when someone came to visit her church and they were talking about financial education. And they were just providing some information. And the woman who was speaking there gave her a little bit information about what I'm speaking to you all about today. And it was so much so that she was so intrigued. She said, I got to have this. Why didn't I get this beforehand? And so when her and I spoke, she was talking like, I want this. I want to make up ground because I want to count. I don't lose money. She said, because she had a pension. She said, I had to pay a penalty for that, getting that money out and all that stuff like that. And she said, I want something that I can access. It's my money. Because the thing about it is think about this for this second. Let me sip on a little bit of tea. Hold on. Whew. That tea is good, y'all. I like tea, and I like cold tea, but this is warm tea, and it's actually good for me. So that's probably why I feel a little bit better because I've been sipping on some tea a little bit, and it's a new day actually too. So that helps me. I slept overnight, and I woke up feeling a little bit better. But my voice is not 100% restored just yet. But however. So when we were talking yesterday, she said that she never heard. Like I said, she never heard of this before. She didn't hear about it before until that lady came to her church. She was very intrigued by it because she said, you know what, I'm paying taxes, and why did I know about this? And so I began to ask her questions. I said, well, because where she works, she's been at her job for over 20 plus years. And I said, did anyone ever come and talk to you about this, or anyone ever come and provide any kind of education or just any kind of details about how everything functions that you have? Because a lot of times people get into group plans at their church, at their job, which is fine. That's pretty standard protocol. That's pretty standard. But however, sometimes some companies or organizations will send someone out to provide like additional education. People can ask questions, kind of see if this is really a good fit for them. Because sometimes people are, when you go to like a bank, or if you go to, I don't want to throw out no these other people names, but however, sometimes people, they are more biased to what they do. Whereas me, when I was sitting down with her, I was talking about how each of these kind of work, and how, and giving her information on that, because she was like, no one ever really took the time to even just explain the different ones, the different options that's out there. And I said, yeah, I know. And I said that because a lot of times they're biased to what they're doing, especially if they're a W-2 employee at the company or a firm. They bias to that, or they work at a bank, financial services, they're biased to that. But when you're independent like myself, you can talk about all of them and explain the difference and allow people to be empowered and educated to make the best decision for them and their family. And that's what makes it powerful, is because I'm not there trying to tell you what to do. See, that's a financial advisor. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to provide you education, because there's some things I did not know. Now, I didn't always know about LIRP. I did not. I tell folks all the time, I did not. I really did not. Growing up, that was not my thing. My family, we didn't know about this. We just did not, you know? And I'm an 80s baby, early 80s baby. And I had no clue. So growing up, this was not even the talk. And then I get it, because it was for high earners. I grew up in inner city. So that means we were pretty much at the bottom of the toll. That means we wasn't really getting that information unless it came down to our neck of the woods. And so that's why I enjoy what I get to do, because I get to bring it to your neck of the wood, to your backyard, to your home, while you in the car, while you on your job, while you're going about your day, while you at work. I get to talk to you about these things that some people just don't have no clue about, or never really understood, or maybe heard some things through the grapevine, as they used to say when I was growing up. You hear it through the grapevine. And so my heart is to make sure you get that information, that you are empowered, which is why, side note, that's why I have on Tuesdays, one of the days, it's going to be more than just Tuesdays, probably Tuesday and probably Saturday, that I will have. Matter of fact, it is Tuesdays and Saturdays. I'm having one tomorrow, as a matter of fact. The plan is to have one at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I get to empower, I get to educate, and I get to help families elevate to the next level. Because this has been around since 1986, but how come only 1 in 15 Americans even know about it? And it's something that I'm not trying here to compare it to any other financial vehicle that's out there. They called the wrong time. Call me back, or I'll call you back. But how come only but that many Americans know about it? And because not that many Americans know about it, then a lot of people don't even know what's there for them. And so I'm here to present, like I said before on this platform, an option. Like you might only thought about option A, and that's all you have known. Just like the person I met with yesterday, that's all she really known was option A. So she was so blown away about other options, or even this LIRP option that I'm speaking to you all about today. She was like, I didn't know about this. And she's really good about saving and doing right by her, her money that she has. She's doing all the right steps. So she's not one that's not doing the right things. She just didn't know there was another option out there, or a better way. There was something that she could actually do, that she can have access to it. And so now she has that opportunity. She's like blown away. And so now, like I said today, I'm bringing this to all of you all, because some people only knew about a pension. Some people only knew about a 401k and a traditional IRA. That's it. And they might know about a Roth IRA. They might know about that. And there's nothing wrong with these things. I'm not here to bash any of them. I'm here to say, hey, this is something else out there that you don't have to worry about losing the money. You have peace of mind. You don't have to worry about something going up and down like a roller coaster ride. And if you're going to lose money, is the economy going to crash? Are you going to lose your money? No, this is something you don't have to worry about losing your money on. This is something you can freely access. It's yours. It's your money. You don't have to borrow it back. You have to pay it back. So that's another thing. People say, hey, do I got to pay this money back? Is it a borrow? Is it a loan? You know, do I have to do that? Side note, let me tell you something. Let me tell you how people, this is when you are savvy about your money. And when you're savvy about what you invest in, when you're savvy about how you put, when you put your money, you save it. People, actually, there are some who understand when you have money that grows, how you can use that money and go buy a vehicle, pay off your home, use it to invest, get investment properties, having capital. So when you have this LIRP right here that I'm speaking about, it gives people the ability to do that when it's structured properly. And so people are capitalizing on that, where they're not spending their own money. Like, for example, I met a man who's 60 years old, done pretty well in his life. He's retired. He retired early, but he moved into the consulting business. So he's an entrepreneur now. So in this chapter of his life, he decided to do his own thing. Matter of fact, he's a consultant for the company that he used to work for. How about that? He said, y'all gonna pay me to come back and tell you how to do that job. I said, that's some tea right there. Let me sip on this. I said, now that's what I'm talking about. And so now they're paying him he making more money as a consultant than he was as an employee. And so when I met with him, he said that, because he's pretty much secure, he really don't have to consult. He's financially made all the right moves and investments. He has a LIRP, he has this. He's diversified his money pretty good. But he has some money that was sitting in the old CD. Now, if some of you all know about a CD, you don't get much growth on a CD. It is safe, but it's like flatline. It don't go up much higher. It's like it starts here and it kind of just goes here. It maybe go here, but that's about it. It don't get a whole lot of growth, and the growth that it does get is not fast. It's slow. It's slow moving growth. And so he says now it's reached maturity. And so he said, I want to dump some of this money up into something that's going to grow substantially, that's going to grow like this and keep on growing and keep on growing. Because he said, you know what? Him and his wife, they like to travel. And he said, why not have an account that grows and I can access that money anytime? It's run tax-free. I can still even leave legacy for the next generation, even more money. It's protected. It get a good rate of return. Who don't want a good rate of return? And he said that, and it's not a loan or borrow. He said, and I can pull it out. And he said, I want to pull it out so I can use just to take a trip. He said, him and his wife like to travel. And they like to travel often. Now that he's retired and he's just doing consulting. And he was like, and I just want money for that. And I said, and the LIRP is the answer for him. And he knows it. He was like, I want the LIRP. Because the LIRP will allow him to do that. He could pull it out, access that money. He ain't got to pay it back. If it goes $20,000, $30,000, surrender money that he can access. Money he can access. See, there are other things out there, other vehicles out there. You got to pay that money back. It's like a loan. Like you really literally have to borrow that money back. And a side note, with the whole life, I spoke about this before, and I'm going to speak about it again, so I'm not going to go too long-winded. But one thing about a whole life that you must understand, for those who have whole life, just as a sidebar, a whole life, because people say that to me. They say, well, I got a whole life, Shantay, and I get cash value. But yeah, but if you take that money out that whole life, you're going to have to pay that money back. And then if you borrow money against your whole life policy, for example, guess what? If that company that your whole life is with gain dividends in the market, meaning they made a gain in the market, and you have an outstanding balance, you have to pay that money back. I'm sorry, you don't have to pay that money back. You don't get any of those gains because you have an outstanding balance that's not been paid back. So you don't make additional money. You actually have to forfeit that money, basically. So that's just the whole life. But the main point about me saying that whole life is that you have to pay that money back. This gentleman that I spoke with was like, hey, I'm not looking to pay. He said, I don't want to pay no money back. I want to be able to pull that money out and use it for whatever I want to take trips. Or if I want to go get something for my grandchildren. And I just want to have money there. So his money is working for him. And that is the ultimate goal, is to get your money to work for you. And you can access and use your money like you choose to. So with that being said, that is the LIRP. Now, there's more details and more scenarios I can say to you. But I want to say that that's the beauty of it. That you can access that money. Excuse me. You can access that money anytime. There's a period of time, but you wait that 5 years and then you access that money anytime. Anytime. It's yours. And it grows tax-free. Tax-free, where you don't have to pay Uncle Sam. This is tax season. And many of us are filing our taxes. But just imagine all your gains on this kind of account. You don't have to pay it. Even if it grows to $1 million, $5 million, $300,000. And you access it, and you get to touch $100,000. You get to touch $200,000. Like, it's your money. And I don't mean just grow. I mean you have access to, you can pull out money. And it still has a generational wealth. Legacy. That's growing. I'm telling y'all, boy, that woman I spoke to yesterday, she was so blown away. She left me a review in a group chat. She talked about it. I'm so grateful for her. So thank you for that. That was amazing. I didn't even ask for that, but she left me a review. And so she was so blown away. The details and the explanation she got, and the not only the explanation and details, but the knowledge of the benefit of it, the perks of it, and all that it does. Like, you can pay for college. She has a grandchild. She got money she could pull out to pay for his college, investment properties, long term, her family, just everything she has is all set up. Even the more. So she just diversified her portfolio. Even the more. And set up things generational. And that's the beauty of it. And that's the awesomeness of it. So, with that being said, some of y'all say, well, Shantay, I got more questions about this. I want to kind of get understanding and what does this really means? And what does it mean for my family? Yes, because this is an opportunity for you to secure your family. And listen, I didn't say this one last piece. And you get to get interest. And the interest gained on the account is what we call income replacement. And you get to replace your income. How about that? That's why I say it's the new retirement vehicle. Or some people say the new 401k. There's many people just did not know about. And it gets income protection. So just in case something happened to you, which I'm big on talking about. Y'all know I'm notoriously big for talking about income protection, because it's just in case something happened to you, whether it be chronic illness, critical illness, or terminal illness, any kind of situation. And you get to use that money for pay for mortgages, your bills, your expenses, whatever the case may be. And you don't got to pay Uncle Sam that money. So these things, like I said, I'm excited about. I get super excited about it. It's our mission. It's my mission. It's something our crusade. I'm happy to be a part of this crusade. We get to change families, make impact. Yesterday was an impact day. That's why I'm so fired up. It's because she was like, wow, I got to let somebody know my job. She said, I'm going on my job, and I'm going to let them know about this. I said, yes, ma'am. And if they want to talk to me and have them sit down, I will be happy. I will be delighted to talk to them. So with that being said, you guys, if you have questions, I know some people like to Google things. Let me Google this and Google that. Sit down with someone who's going to tell you like it is. Honestly. Not sugarcoating it. No bias. The good, the bad, the ugly, and indifferent. Tell you the whole truth. The whole truth. I know some of y'all have questions. Sit down with me. Make an appointment. Reach out to me. Message me. Inbox me. Hey, you got my number? Give me a phone call. Talk to me. Talk to me. All right, so that's my call to action. Listen, do your homework, do some research, and sit down and book an appointment with me. It's no cost. Zero to get knowledge and secure your financial future. So with that being said, listen, this is Speaker and Coach Honey Shantay Adams, and this is Financial Fitness Fridays Talk Plus. And today we talked about the LIRP, which is a vehicle, which is a instrument a vehicle, I should say, that many people who are using there have been in the wealthy. Now this information is coming down to the middle class, the working class, even the lower class, okay, so to speak, if that's such a thing, right? It's coming to everybody. Everybody. And so I'm excited about that. I'm pumped up. As you guys can see, I got like a ball of energy. Like, I'm like fired up. Despite having the sniffles. Well, all right, you guys have a fantastic Honeylicious Friday. And again, this is Coach Honey Shantay, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great rest of your day. Remember, What's our saying? We accomplish much and we go further with honey than vinegar. For indeed, life is always sweet when you add honey. All right, take care, you guys. Bye.